And we always talk, on game day, you got to be ready to go. Emotionally, uh, you have to have your motor running. And the kids came this morning, 8:30 meetings. It's not like they get to sleep in. So 8:30 meetings, they're in here, and you could tell they were cranked up, ready to roll early this morning. So it was a good day.
Some of the players are talking about there's a fine line between lack of execution and a lack of intensity, which maybe can be misinterpreted as a lack of intensity when guys don't execute.
Yeah, well, if they don't execute, there's two reasons. Are they trying to not execute, or do they not know what they're doing? Okay, so the first thing is, that's the knowledge. It's hard to execute when you don't know what you're doing. Okay, and then if you don't know what you're doing, it's hard to be intense about it because you can't do it full force.
Right.
So those two go hand in hand, and that's why we talk about playing with intensity and effort and toughness. But you have to have the knowledge. If you don't have knowledge, you can't have any of that. So that's why these classrooms are so important.
Any plays or highlights stand out from the scrimmage today?
Gosh, there's all kinds of things, but I thought our defense did a better job of stopping the run. Last week, to me the highlight as a coach is you better be able to run the football. And I thought, James maybe didn't get as many carries as you want him to. Olsen, I think, had a good day. I think he may have about 100 yards rushing. But when 130 plays, things add up. We'll try to gauge how many yards per attempt and how many against the ones, and we'll really break this thing down like you wouldn't believe as far as all our goals and attempts there. But the main thing is the last scrimmage, first play of the game was a touchdown, like a 65-yard run. Today it wasn't, and that's the first thing I see is, and I think defensively we did a pretty good job of stopping the run. And to me, if you can stop the run on defense, you got a chance. And I know that's been a weakness of ours, at least defense period. So to me, if I see some of that, and I know if we're stopping our offense run the ball like they'd like to, then we got a chance.
Is Roy showing you the ability to play three downs?
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Rory's a great kid. He's on the ground too much. First we had a couple special teams. He was on the ground a few times. I'm like, Rory, you got to get up. Coach, I just keep. And we got him wearing knee braces now. So the D-line hates it. So it's slowing them down a little bit so they don't have as much speed. But like I told them, we're trying to protect the investment because they've never worn knee braces before. But we can't afford to lose. On game day, they don't have to wear them, but we can't afford to lose, any player in a practice situation.
Coach, you talked about the big play at last week's scrimmage. How does having Tyler and James and Chad and a great offensive line and the offensive weapon help with that complacency and keep the intensity up for the defense?
Well, I think when the defense is playing well against the weapons that we have on offense, it gives the defense a little bit of confidence, and then I think it also is a humbling experience for the offense if they don't make the plays they want to. And again, Tyler had some great catches. He had a circus catch on the sideline. I was like, holy cow! I'm glad he's on our team. We'll have to defend that guy, but he had a circus catch and some really, a couple of them, and it's some impressive. And Chad had some great throws as well as Berkey. Berkey had a nice day today too. It's good to see our backup quarterback. He's getting meaningful reps with the twos, and he might have thrown for a couple hundred yards really. Like I said, we start off with some third downs. Start off third down in the red zone and kick field goals. So I think we kicked 12 field goals, and I don't know what the stats on making them or not making them will be, but I thought Blewett did a nice job as well.
You talked on Thursday about depth charts and those kind of things. Anything become clear today?
Well, after we watch his tape, it will be. There was some, there was a hammer went down here and there, and but I would imagine we're probably, sometimes competition is good when there's somebody breathing down your neck. We always talk to our guys about you better be looking in the rearview mirror, at who that guy is behind you, and sometimes it's a reality check when someone moves ahead of you. So I think there's a few of those, and who knows, we might move it right back after the scrimmage. So we'll see.
Are you looking at Jamal Davis as a defensive end now? Or?
No, Jamal's a linebacker for sure. I mean, he's got great athletic ability. He's still a baby. I mean, he's still a puppy, as we call him, and but he's too young to say he'd be a defensive end. But he's athletic enough that you want to find a place for him to get on the field. So we've toyed with maybe on our third down package of putting as many athletes as we can on the field, maybe being a third down defensive end. But he's a linebacker right now for sure.
What are you seeing from Dennis Briggs since he's moved to defensive back? It looked like he was working with the first team.
He's got the wow factor. Dennis Briggs has been, I want to say pleasant surprise. We've had our eyeball on him for all through fourth quarter program out there, kind of like ooh. But what's been the most impressive about Dennis is his knowledge. I mean, he picked it up almost like a natural DB, and he's playing a little bit of nickelback, and he can blitz too. So he's been very, very impressive here through, I think he missed 2 days, so he's had 5 days on defense. I think we moved him maybe day 3 or day 4.
In the 11-on-11s that we got to watch, we saw Motley have a pick 6 of Berkey. How do you think he's progressing along?
How'd you get all that information? Were you
Period 5.
period 5? Oh, were you guys there for the third down stuff?
We were.
Oh, that's good. You got to see some football then. That was live too.
Real football.
I didn't mean to give that to you guys. Okay.
I knew you made a mistake as soon as you went to 11 on. Like, he doesn't realize he gave us.
That's okay. That's okay. That's good. I'm glad you got the little preview. So, oh, you guys tell me. What'd you see?
Challenger made a nice catch.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
Yeah, Motley had that big pick 6. How do you think the competition between him and maybe a guy like Malik for that maybe nickel corner spot is coming?
There's all kinds of. I mean, you guys saw a little bit of the nickel package too there. Did you guys video that stuff or not? Oh, good. Keep that off the TVs. Nobody needs to see that, but you know, there's competition everywhere. You know, Malik has really been impressive for a true freshman. Usually those guys start off pretty good, and then all of a sudden, as soon as too much information overload, all of a sudden they crash and burn. But he's stayed pretty good, and he's a football player. He's got some natural things to him that I really like.
You come out of this pretty clean health-wise.
You know, we really did. I mean, 130 plays, and you know, we're trying to teach our kids to play fast, move your feet, never be loafing around, and I think that really helps that our kids are, you know, flying around with football. So we did come out, I think, really healthy. I'm sure there'll be bumps and bruises. They'll be whining tomorrow, I'm sure.
When's your next scrimmage? Because you don't have a practice on Saturday.
We'll probably do some scrimmage situation stuff, situational scrimmage on Thursday. Probably give them a good run afterwards, run some gassers, and send them home for Easter.
You went longer today than you expected to, didn't you?
A little bit. We're having fun.
Is that how it was?
It's fun, and you didn't have to go to class today, so it's good.
The defense won the blue shirts for next week.
Yeah, the defense will wear the blue jerseys this week. So it's good to see it back and forth.
You talked about Pat being on almost a roller coaster or a yo-yo, some days up, some days down.
Pat.
Amara.
Yep.
How did you think he performed today, and how do you think that safety spot is looking?
You know, I think, you know, Reggie Mitchell's doing a great job. We're still looking for that guy in the boundary. Javante and Pat are battling hard, and we'll see. So it's still battle. We'll have to look at the tape today to find out. It'll be a solid, I mean, after this is, you know, very good scrimmage. We'll be able to really tell some things depth chart-wise after today. But you know what? Tuesday's a different day. You know, you're only as good as the last practice.
When it says Javante gets like a truck, do you see because of big kids out there?
Again, we'll have to watch the tape. I'm standing back behind the offense. You know, it's hard to tell, but there's some pretty good hits over the middle today.
Do you get a sense that he's a guy who is sort of seeing this as a fresh slate, a new opportunity, because he didn't play a lot under the last
I would
coach?
hope so. I mean, when I first came in here, I think the first meeting I had was it's a fresh start for everybody. So I hope they all have taken that to heart. And the same thing with Michael Caprera. I mean, there's another guy that I don't know how much football he's played in the past, but you know, the word I got coming in here was, you know, he felt like he didn't have a chance to play, but he's a great football player. And I'm really impressed with what Mike's doing as well. So there's a few of those guys that, from what I've heard, and again, I didn't watch any tape or don't know how many reps they had, but there's some, you know, some guys that maybe hadn't played a lot of football in the past that I think we can get a lot of good football out of.
With Mike, is that a battle with him and Bam at the money linebacker position? Or just...
Yeah, it could be him and Bam, and it could also be him and Alambos at the Mike spot. I mean, he can play. He's smart enough to play both too. So we got him kind of doing a little bit of both.